Closing Europe's borders to migrants would drive the continent to inbreeding and degeneration, the German finance minister has told local media, arguing that in his own country Muslims have enriched its openness and diversity. Immigration from neighboring Middle Eastern and North African countries would make Europe more solid, otherwise its population would have been left with no choice other than to fornicate with each another, German Finance Minister Wolfgang Schäuble claimed in an interview with Die Zeit. It is isolation that would destroy us, it would lead us towards degenerating and inbreeding, the finance minister argued. For us, Muslims in Germany are an enrichment of our openness and our diversity. Look at the third generation of Turks, especially the women. That is an enormous innovation potential. Schäuble, believed to be one of the country's most influential ministers, also called for more economic engagement with the Middle East and North Africa. After 1990, we began to seriously deal with the fact that there is something else outside the Western world. Africa will be our problem, and we have to face this challenge, he said, adding that Europe should pour more money into those regions if it wants to halt the influx of refugees. One thing is quite clear for the future, we have to invest more in Iraq, Syria and Libya, and then we will have to pay for sub-Saharan Africa's development. North African countries are already demanding more investment from Berlin as a condition for taking refugees back, he went on. And they are right to do so. The minister's comments, made apparently in support of Chancellor Angela Merkel's migration policy, have sparked controversy in Germany. Some critics compared Schäuble's remarks to those of Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who recently said German MPs of Turkish descent tainted their blood by voting for recognition of the Armenian genocide. Social media users have reacted to the minister's words with criticism, calling the comments unevenly racist. Some said his statements play into the hands of Alternative for Germany (AfD), the far-right party which keeps saying that mass migration would change the face of society. They also do not sit well with Schäuble's previous statements on the refugee crisis, which continues to have an impact on Germany, the primary destination for many asylum seekers. In January, the finance minister said the border-free Schengen area was on the verge of collapse because of the refugee influx.
Britain might be consumed with chaos, internal chaos for years as it negotiates with this EU exit. During this time period, Britain is less likely to deal with Europe's other security challenges. What are some of the other states around it that are going to suffer as a result?
Well, Britain, again, is an extremely capable army. So when they sit in the councils of the European Union, they talk about things that some of these small countries need to do, these countries with sort of niche capabilities. And then they, I think, have been very key in making sure the European Union doesn't go in a direction that weakens NATO. So now all that ends. And we have to see how this emerging, whether there's going to be a European Union security identity or not. Now, clearly, many European countries want to make sure that if Germany is going to grow its military, that it grows its military within the context of the European Union and not just as a giant German force, which, by the way, would worry a lot of Europeans. So the question, of course, is how is this going to come about? Will the French take a bigger role. You know, they have tried to do things with the Brits. Probably some of those things will continue. So I think there's a whole concern here, and especially it comes at a time when the Russians have been really resurgent in terms of military capabilities in places like Ukraine. So, I mean, we have a kind of a major tectonic shift here, and no one really knows how it's going to come out, except to say I think it's going to be rather chaotic in the months ahead.
All right. Chaotic is what the word so many people are using. Ambassador Christopher Hill, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Of course, we hope that a lot of people get on the other side of the chaos, but it is going to be a long and ugly process. Thank you so much, Ambassador. We appreciate your perspective. Chaotic is what the word so many people are using. Ambassador Christopher Hill, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Of course, we hope that a lot of people get on the other side of the chaos, but it is going to be a long and ugly process. Thank you so much, Ambassador. We appreciate your perspective.